Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Osha.
Let's start now episode 74 of Ask Vidas and Osha podcast. Today's question was sent by David and he writes, "Thank you very much for answering my question. I have the Ritchie Stauffer book and started with chapter 3 on early organ technique since I'm working on Handel's Largo. I have a follow-up question. When I master Handel's Largo, should I continue with another early music piece or change to modern music and start at the beginning of the Ritchie Stauffer's book?" Osha, do you think that people should practice um, simultaneously several pieces of different stylistic periods?
You know, if you are just a beginner, maybe do a few pieces of a early style first, and then go to a modern style and do few pieces of a modern style, and then you can practice them simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you will begin to practice simultaneously right away, it might be too difficult for you, to differentiate these two so different techniques. And what do you think about it?
Absolutely true. That's the reason why Ritchie and Stauffer, chose to do their book this way. They don't mix their techniques this way, but just they have one part of the book on modern technique and a second part on the early technique. And actually, they start with the modern first. Do you know why, Osha?
I think because most of organists, when we begin to play organ, we come after playing piano for many years, or at least a few years. So the modern technique is really easier for those who have practiced piano before.
True. So for David, I think he could. He could start working on Richard Stauffer's exercises from the early technique section right away. And at the end of that section, he will find a few of the early music pieces suitable for that technique that he just learned,
Yes.
right?
So just do the mixture of exercises and real music piece. But learn some more, new early music pieces and then go to a modern technique.
And after that, after you have mastered a few pieces from early repertoire, a few from the modern legato repertoire, can you mix them up and learn a few of them simultaneously?
Sure, yes, after some time you can do that, but not right at the beginning. It probably would be too hard.
You wouldn't recommend like on Mondays you do early technique, on Tuesdays like
Well,
legato
I
technique.
wouldn't do that at the beginning. It's not so easy to master each of them, so they might start to mixed up.
True. When did you first discover that you need to play several stylistically different pieces simultaneously? In Academy of Music probably,
Yes, yes,
when you had to play recitals
yes,
and people appreciate variety in recitals.
sure.
So that's why you need a lot of stylistic differences right away.
But when I started to practice organ for like 2 first months, and it was an intensive practice. I played only Baroque music, so only early technique, and that was a good thing. And then later on, I started to practice romantic and late music.
Me too, I remember that too. What to do for people who don't have Richard Stauffer book? Can they still um, practice in a similar order?
Sure, why not?
Basically, early music first, probably, and then modern or romantic music later, or vice versa. You could reverse that if you are a better pianist.
Yes, that's true.
How many pieces do you think they would need to 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 feel comfortable with one technique at first, and then ready to be ready to switch to another technique? Three, four, five?
Well, it depends. For some, yes, that might be 3, 4, but for some, it might be like 10 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be very different for each person.
With every new piece in that stylistic repertoire, you will discover something new about yourself, your instrument, and your music. It will be like a small experiment, exploration. You will feel like a scientist exploring new and familiar lands. Um, and every 10th piece, you will probably have a small breakthrough. Don't you think also?
Yes, I think so.
Excellent, guys. We hope this has been helpful to you in your practice. And please send us more of your questions. We really love helping you grow as an organist. This was Vidas.
And Osha,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.